Hi, I'm Kathy Mills from Short Film Edits, and I'm here with Alyona Reel for an interview today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Can we start this with you telling us a little bit about you?
Yeah, so like you said, I'm Alyona or Ali, and I was born in Russia and adopted when I was 7. I spent the majority of my time in Texas. Then I went to Atlanta to start acting. I actually started acting in Texas, and then I went to Atlanta to continue film, and then I recently just moved to Los Angeles like 6 months ago. I'm not there right now. I'm here in Texas while they're redoing our floors. I guess there's been a lot of water damage in our apartments, and they're like fixing everything up. So just waiting to go back to my new home. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit about me.
Hey, take a little vacation while you wait. Enjoy it.
It's been like 2 months. Yeah,
Oh.
I've been waiting up. My mom, you could tell she's like ready. She's like, so when are you gonna go back? And I was like, Mom, I'm trying. So I should be going back on Thursday. So in just a couple more days, I'll start the 2-day journey with my dog, and we can finally get back to LA. So
And then you
I'm
can
excited.
set everything up again.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
All
Yeah.
right. So what inspired you to start acting?
What inspired me to start acting? Um, I think so. Just like I said, when I was adopted from Russia, I didn't know the language. I was, fluent in Russian, and I watched a lot of movies. I would rewatch movies over and over and over, and it was on like the VHS tapes, and so I would rewind them and watch them again, and that's how I learned a little bit of my English. I mean, I was taking classes and things like that too, but yeah, it was just the way that I connected to the world here because I was taken away from the only thing that I knew. Thank goodness, I'm not
Mm,
harboring it. I'm so happy about my journey and I love that I was adopted, but it's an abrupt change. So then you're trying
yeah.
to connect to anything that you can. And so yeah, just watching movies as much as I can. And then I just kind of fell in love. And then but I was really shy and my mom's like,
Mm.
you need to take an acting class. And I was like, no. And so she actually signed me up for theater in high school. And that's how I started. And then from there I loved it, like every minute of it.
That's amazing. Do you prefer theatre over film or just either way?
Both are great. I do think there's
Mm,
something magical about theater that film
mm,
I don't think we'll ever have. Like the feeling I get going to a live theater show is just I'm like floating. I just love theater so much, but I'm obsessed with the camera. Like
yeah.
I really, really love the camera and I love filming those stories. And I liked like the nuance, when like the character's face is kind of all the screen is
Mm,
they're filling the screen and then you can see every emotion, every nudge, every eye twitch, and it's like that's what I love, that the camera captures something so close and so intimate. But theater, just the entire spectacle of it is magic. So both of them have their own magic. Yeah.
yeah. When the camera's that close, there's like no hiding from it. Like every detail is showing.
It is
So,
on display, girl. You cannot hide anything. You can't have secrets. And that is what
Nope.
I love about film. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you've worked in various projects. How do you find consistency in your performance while keeping each character fresh?
Mm, I think it's using my technique. I've
Mhm.
studied with a few actors that I admire on TV. They have classes in various places, like here, Texas, in LA, in London. I've taken courses online. And I'm not like, I don't have a specific method in the way that I train. I just take what I can from different methods and then I make my own. And a lot of it is asking a ton of questions. Like if I get a script, even for an audition, I'm sitting there and I'm asking, well, why would I say this? Why do I feel like this? Why do I run away? Why did I smirk at him? And it's like it's still always going to be me underneath, but when you ask specific questions rather than creating a whole backstory that doesn't really matter, I think that's when you get to the nitty gritty of the actual story. Because I used to do that. I think actors do that a lot, and a lot of times it works, but for me, it just doesn't. Where you make up a
Mm,
whole backstory of like, what's
yeah.
their third grade kindergarten, like teachers, and like, well, what happened here? And sometimes it's great work, but it's not needed
Mm,
for this specific scene or this role or this movie. And so I've gotten really intimate and specific about my character. And asking as many questions as I possibly can and reading and reading and reading that script over and over until those answers come, or I can create those answers. So I think it's more in my
Hmm.
technique that I can keep each character fresh, but still, be there and be consistent in what I do. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
I love that you all got like a different way of getting there. Like
I
everybody's unique. That's
Oh,
great.
I learned something from everybody. I mean, I
Hmm.
love hearing how other actors do it. I'm like, okay, what are your secrets? Because
Yeah.
they might have something that I'm like, oh my God, I need to try that next time. That is so brilliant. So yeah, I just think
Hmm.
it's very, very cool that we all have our own little techniques to bring characters to life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Okay. Are there moments from any of your sets that completely changed how you thought about your character or the story?
Thought about character, the story. There's not a specific moment that I can think about. I think I can only do so much work on my technique and to bring out the character and ask the right questions and figure out the story on my own. And then when I get to set, or sometimes before, I've had on the Lifetime movie I did before we filmed, I got the script and then the director called me and we talked about my audition and the character. And I was like, okay, what do you see from this? And then I also picked out specific moments that I was like, what do you think about this scene? And then their ideas, because, the director's coming in with, this is what I want to see. This is, that they're doing their own research and their own you know figuring things out on their own, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that helps me. I don't think there's any like specific moments, but I think when the director and I can work together and we can have that collaboration of like, okay, so this is what's happening. And sometimes, especially with verticals, we're basically filming a feature in like 7 days, sometimes as little as 5 days. And so I can't think about like what, like this scene is so big, but what happened before, because I was in hair and makeup changing in an outfit. And so I think when the director can come in and be like, okay, this is what's happened before, or this is what I had in mind, that can really solidify a character for me a little bit more than just the work that I've done. So nothing
Yeah.
specific, but I love to collaborate, especially with the other actors too, when we kind of
Yeah.
get some time to like chat and we're like, okay, what do we think of this scene? And then they bring their own ideas. And I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just talking to the people around you, because we're
Mm.
all seeing it from a different lens. We all have different perspectives. So we're reading the same script, but imagining it differently. And so to get the inside of what they're thinking, and then you can really flesh out that character. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard so many times that, you can't go in there expecting too much because it can all just change.
Right.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you've got like your script and you're supposed to have these set scenes for that day, that can change so quickly too. Or like a line can change and you just got to be on the go all the time.
Exactly. So prepare as much as you can so that you can let it all go and just be. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Great. Okay. How has your approach to choosing roles changed from earlier projects?
Um, I think now when the vertical, I've been doing verticals for a couple of years, and before I would just say yes to everything, just because you're new, and I'm like, I want to do every single thing I possibly can to learn and to grow and to see how it's done. And now I have a little bit more of a backbone. I won't say like now I read scripts before I say yes. Before I would just say yes and do them. Now I have to get the script in my hands before. And most people like already send that. It's not even something that I ask for, which is great.
Yeah.
And I don't like a lot of abuse. I think it's very triggering for a lot of women and men too.
Yeah.
Some of these scenes are very difficult to do. And sometimes my nervous system, how your body, like your brain knows that it's a scene, but your body doesn't know that you're safe. Your body
Yeah.
only knows that you're pushing away a man, that you're screaming or you're crying or you're hyperventilating, which kicks in like the fight or flight response. So sometimes on set, I can't stop crying like once I do a scene, or like I had to do like an almost rape scene and then I had to
Mm.
walk away. And the intimacy coordinator was great. She gave me like little candies and she told me how to breathe right to kind of get out of that. So if there's a movie that has a lot of trauma in it, one or two scenes if it furthers the plot. Yeah, but now I'm seeing, I'm seeing whole scripts where it's just abuse and like there's just no way that I'm going to do that. I'm also looking for different things. Like the last movie I did, The Golden Pair Affair, was completely different. I played twins.
Mm.
It was set in Italy. We're looking for a diamond. The FBI is involved. Like it was just so different. And I was
Yeah.
giddy. I said, I was so excited to get that script. I was like, immediately, yes. So I'm really looking for different things. I'm looking for better stories. I just want really, really good scripts and good stories. But it's hard to
Yeah.
find. So, you still say yes to certain projects and they're fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm looking for different now just because there's so much out there that's the same. So
I'm seeing some change,
some change.
recently. The scripts are getting better and, they're slowly getting like you're getting more of a chance to like rewrite certain scenes that you don't want to they're
Yeah.
kind of allowing people to like make it a little bit better without
Yes.
changing the story too much. Um, which I love. And I've heard so many times that, though somebody will get in, they'll get the whole script, but somebody will get in there and they'll be like, look, I don't really like how far this has gone. We could probably tell it the same, but like less violently or, things like that. And sometimes they're allowed to do it, which is fantastic. Sometimes they won't let you budge, but I'm seeing like a lot of difference where they're allowing people to change it. So,
Yeah, as long yeah, I get that it's clickbait, some of the stuff,
mm,
and they have to say certain things because they're gonna want it in the trailer, and that's gonna want people to
yeah.
that's gonna have people wanting to click it. But yeah, I just like I love when there's a director that's like, we're not pushing that. She says no,
Mhm.
that's no. And then other times I've been told no, we like need to do this. So then that's when you talk to the intimacy coordinator or the scripty or even, even the director and be like, okay, how can we do this tastefully?
Yeah.
Just dialogue. Let's just talk to each other and see how we can do this where everyone's comfortable.
Yeah.
There's just no reason for you not to be comfortable in what you do and enjoy it.
Exactly. I mean, like you said before, sometimes you need those certain things to help if it helps the script and tells the story. It's the unnecessary stuff that we don't need.
Yeah, like yeah, I don't know, maybe audience members like it. It just if it doesn't really go for the plot, if it's not there's not a reason for it, let's leave it out. There's just too many
Yeah.
great things that we can do and too many ways that we can tell the story. Yeah. We're
Yeah.
getting there and you're totally
We
right and I love that and now, I can speak up, before I was afraid to and so having that conversation is really really important. So
I'm glad that you're at that point that you're comfortable to do that because it's really important. So,
right, I agree. Thank you. Yeah. I
no
really do
worries.
agree.
What makes a director or crew memorable in terms of helping you bring out your best character?
Yeah. It just depends on who. I mean, I love crew. I love the crew so much. I actually started as a production, like a PA, and then I learned lighting, I was sound, and so I just have such an appreciation for them. Um, Not really memorable. It's not like it's it's as simple as just like enjoying your time there. I've worked with a few people that you can tell they don't want to be there and they
Yeah.
were really unkind to some people. And then it just makes mm, yeah, I just kind of absorb that energy, which I've worked very hard for my whole life to not, I think we try our best not to, and to keep our energy, if like someone's having a bad day, to not like make that your own. And so I've worked on that. But on certain sets, like there are people that have been fighting or they're not kind to each other and they're stopping takes because they can't get along, or this person just doesn't want to be here and they're mad at everyone. And that just makes everything really hard. So when you just love this job, which I know like verticals are difficult, like this
Yeah.
isn't easy work for anybody, but you can tell when someone really just loves the craft and really just wants to be there and loves film and then when someone just absolutely hates their life. So it's just the difference of just enjoying your work and
Yeah.
that makes the job so much more enjoyable for me. But it's not their job to make it enjoyable for me and maybe they're going through some stuff, but it's such a difference when someone really likes what they do versus just like they're tired of it. So yeah.
No, I completely agree. It kind of like you need to go in there with a exciting, positive because then like it can just throw everything back for the day. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, we're all human and we all get stuck in our heads sometimes and we can't help it, but you've got to find techniques to get around that,
Yeah.
especially on set. Like,
Yeah, and you don't have to like cheer and get so giddy about everything, but
mm,
yeah, I also just have empathy for people that are going through things. So if they're on
yeah,
set and they need to just pay the bills and they're there, I get it, but there's a difference, you know,
mm,
when you're treating people unkindly because of how you feel versus like there's times where I
yeah,
haven't been wanting to be on set. I was really, really, really sick. I did a scene that made me feel horrible, and then it, you know, and but it's still just kindness towards everyone. You breathe. Like for lunch, I'll go sit alone and I'll decompress. Like that, like
yeah,
there's things that you can do. Like you know, we all have bad days, but yeah, I think just
mm,
enjoying your job just really makes everyone memorable. It
yeah,
is then we're all working together. And I love the idea of just all of us working towards one goal. I just love the team,
yeah.
the collaborative effort that we all make.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you feel that way, when you get there, talk to somebody. Just talk to somebody, get it
Yeah,
out, and then hopefully they can help you bring you up for the rest of the day and,
yeah,
just
like
talk you
share.
through.
And some people are there just like there's a certain PA that was like, I'm here for what you guys need, da, 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 da. Or like
Mm,
the AD, the assistant director. They want you to talk to them. And so I
yeah.
learned because I'm someone that I'm like, mm-mm, I'm not going to make anyone do anything extra for me. I'll get my own breakfast, I'll get my
Mm,
own waters, do not touch anything. But sometimes, yeah, just opening up to someone so they know. So if you're not feeling good, just at least somebody knows on set, and then we can work together.
exactly.
Just talk to
Yeah.
each other. We're all when you know, I'm sure like other actors have told you, you do become family on these sets. I've
Yeah.
cried before after like for days at a time because the
Mm.
set was so great and I miss everyone and you know, you just connect. Yeah, so just talk to each other. It's all about
Such a
communication.
beautiful community.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Looking back, is there a project that surprised you in how much it shifted your perspective on acting or storytelling?
Mm, it wasn't any of mine. Um, no, I don't think it was a regular film of mine or a vertical. I think it's just watching those films that I so dearly love and following the actors that I love and the directors I want to work with. I think that's what does it for me. And the only the only example I have just because I just watched it, well, there's two, but I've had so many in my life. But it's like I just saw Wuthering Heights in
Mhm.
theaters, and I saw Hamnet, and I just for like weeks, I mean, like I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. I'm researching the score. I can't wait to work with Emerald Fennell, who's the director of Wuthering. Like I'm watching how she constructed every single piece of the set to tell the story, from outfits to makeup to set to the walls to the floors. Like that is what just gets me going. Like that
Mm,
is what makes me feel so differently about this entire industry, is just watching like the greats. And then,
mm,
you know, I just love when a movie gets you going, you get home and like you just research as much as you can and you watch every
mm,
interview and you're like, that's what good films do for me, and even good plays too. So none
mm,
of my projects have really made me feel that way. I love acting and I love the things that I've done, but they've never like truly like inspired me. I get inspired
mm.
by the work that I want to do one day with the people that I admire and what they do. And then I try to bring that on set with me,
Yeah.
um, to find that. But yeah, it's just watching incredible actors do what they do best. Like that is everything. Yeah.
I need to see both of them. I've been told Hamnet. I've been told so many times to watch Hamnet just in the last week. But
It's just like the act, like I can't like describe to you what it would mean to work on something of that caliber and to like I also think you have to add like Wuthering Heights. I know everyone's like, oh, it's lovey. It's not, there's not a lot of, you know, spicy. I mean, there are like a couple moments, but I mean, the acting, the score, the sound, the incredible landscape is just, and yeah, I'm really just in awe. I definitely think you should watch both of them though. And just, yeah, that's my goal. Like if anyone ever asks, like that is the tier that I want to be in. Just outstanding performances. It's insane.
I'm really big for the plot line. Like even like I keep bringing this up, but like even Heated Rivalry, which I've been obsessed with at the moment.
I'm watching that currently.
So
Yes.
good. No spoilers then. But I love the plot line in that. Like I know there are a lot of spicy scenes and stuff, but it's the plot line and the story that does it for me. There's
Right.
so much detail in that story that it's just you get
I
locked
love
in.
that. I
Yeah.
love that you can notice that too. Like, yes, the spicy
Mm.
scenes are great. Like, we all love a little smutty scene and a smutty book and all that, but it's
Mm.
their story.
It's the story.
These are lives that are being lived out there that they're telling, and there's so much vulnerability in it. And
Yeah.
some people just don't. They don't. It's just it's a fun watch, but when you really get down to what it means, it like breaks your heart a little that
Hmm.
there's so much, yeah, hidden. And yeah, I just the story of it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
really big on watching reactions on YouTube, like reactors, and I've
okay.
watched nearly every reactor, watch that. And you get some that like dive deep into the story and understand the characters, and you're like, yes, this is what I see. And then you get the other ones which take it on face value, and that's fine. It's their first reaction. So you hope they go back and watch it again and like actually watch it. But then they don't understand the character at all, and then you get annoyed going, but you don't understand. But you got to remember then it's the first time. But yeah, just seeing all the differences, but the storyline is what does it for me.
Oh, I love that. And like the rewatches are important too. I actually went
Yeah,
twice to see Wuthering Heights in
yeah.
theaters, just by myself. I'm in Texas waiting for my floors to get done, so I have some extra
Hmm.
time. But I mean, I just can't, like, I can't, I, what you pick up on. And then after reading all of that and then seeing those things that I didn't see before,
Yes, you pick
it's
up so many things.
spectacular. Yeah, I mean, you just don't realize, and that goes to crew and what they're doing and the lighting. It's like, okay, I'm watching Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, and I'm in love, and this is everything. Okay, great, but now let me really take in everything that like 50 to 100 people have done to create this landscape and this environment for them to be able to do what
Yeah,
they do best. It was such a team effort. So yeah, it's like really enjoying what everyone has contributed to, and the writing and
yeah.
it
I
all.
did that
I'm
with
obsessed.
Wicked. I love Wicked,
Oh
so I went back
yeah,
and watched it a few
Wicked.
times. Yeah. I'm waiting for the
Nice.
second one to come out on Disney, so I can watch it as many times without having to pay for it every time.
Oh, that's true. Okay, okay. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, well, it definitely came out already, but you're waiting for streaming. I totally get that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's different in Australia too, so we don't get it. Sometimes we have to wait like 12 months to get
Months.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
don't know
just
why they didn't
patience.
just have like a full release of everything every time
That would be
because
nice.
we're
That
all
would be
talking
nice.
together and then some people can't connect for yeah, it's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah. Okay. How do you decide if a script is right for you? You kind of touched base on that one already, but
Good. Yeah. Um, I think if it's like specifically for verticals, it's more of are there is it, are there traumatizing scenes? No. Okay, great. I like a good meaty scene where it's just dialogue for a long time. You don't really get
yeah.
those in verticals, but I just love because there's so much to work with there when it's quick. It's like I can't sit there and soak in this. It's like gone, you
Mm,
know. So yeah, I'm for just verticals, I'm really just looking for something that's not hard to act, like some of the
yeah.
traumatic scenes. But for like everything else, I am looking to be a little challenged. Like this last Golden Pair, I told you I was, oh, I played twins, Sophia and Nina. And I had the best time playing twins. And it wasn't like we weren't in too many scenes together. We did film for like 9 days in Georgia, and then we needed 2 reshoot days in LA because we had missed some scenes. And so that was all done. Me and Nick just did that on green screen.
Yeah.
And then that's when me and my sister had a lot of those scenes. So that was really cool to see how they did that. And that was a challenge. I'm like, how do I make these
Mm,
two characters different? I felt like Nina Dobrev and the Vampire Diaries. I was like, yes, this is my Vampire Diaries moment.
yeah.
And that was so much fun. I'm just looking for different. Give me a
Mm,
connection, give me vulnerability, give me a story, give me something besides the CEO that saves the helpless girl that, it's
Yeah.
like these are wonderful and I'll do them because they're so much fun, but my heart aches for a good story and for a good
Yeah.
script and a good connection and a character arc. Like
Yeah.
I want to be different things in the like
Mm.
I was even trying to be a villain because I'm so lucky that I've done mostly, not all of them, but mostly leads. But I think the villain sometimes has a really cool character arc. And I
Yeah.
want that because most of the time the leads don't, and that's totally fine. But yeah, just something different with layers and colors. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it when the villain has a character arc because then it gives them like a reason as to what they're doing, which is good for me.
Yeah. Villains
Yeah,
don't think that they're villains. Villains think that they're doing the right thing.
yeah,
Like to them, this is what's right. And they want something just like the protagonist does. And
mm,
yeah, and then when they become the good guys in the end, or they turn into the bad guy, it's like, oh, I love it. I was like,
mm,
yes. And then that
mm,
actor gets to play those nuanced emotions that you
yes,
don't get to normally play. So it's fun for us. So yeah.
yes. I like it when they show it on screen though, because sometimes they don't, and you're just like, I didn't understand why they were being that
Yeah.
mean. You
You're
want
like,
to
hold on, this
see,
doesn't make sense. Yeah.
yeah. So I
Oh,
like
that's
that.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally
Okay.
agree.
What's one project that pushed you out of your comfort zone?
I think it was Diving for Love. I did that in
Mm,
Vancouver a while ago. And also Golden Pair with the twins. And there was a lot of stunts, a lot of running. But yeah, that one I told you that those were some of the scenes that were
yeah.
difficult for me to do. And but I also had so much fun. Like I had so much fun on that, but there were just certain scenes I was like, oh, this is a lot. So I learned a lot about my nervous system and how to calm down and like EFT tapping and the box breathing and like at lunch I'll go sit in the dark corner or I'll put on like I've even put on, I'm thinking about bringing my eye mask that I wear at night. It blocks out everything because I just have to like lower my senses. I have to like get into the
Yeah.
dark. And that really calms me down. And so I learned a lot about my body more so in that one than really like anything. But yeah, I mean, all of them have taught me something, but I really appreciate that one because it kind of got me out of my boundaries a little bit, but in a safe space, like everyone was
Mm,
wonderful and they made it feel safe for me. Um, but I was challenged to not make it Allie and to make it this character, and she's struggling and it's not what I would do if this person was here. It's what she would do. And yeah, that one was interesting. It's like learning through the hard way, but I
yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah.
You just gave me an amazing idea. So my daughter has trouble regulating her emotions and she likes her headphones. I'm the same. I put my headphones on when I need to.
Yeah.
But using the eye mask for her is also a brilliant idea. I think I might try that.
Yeah. Blocks everything out. Like I get made fun of because I'm laying underneath desks. I'm in closets. Like at lunchtime, I love everybody, but
Mm,
I just need to like decompress. And
yeah.
so I just thought about it the other day. I was talking to my mom. I was like, I'm gonna start bringing my eye mask to
Mm,
work, and it just blocks everything out, and then you can breathe a little. So yeah, so maybe that
yeah.
would. And on Amazon, I get the ones that have the outer like pillowing
Mm,
effect because like I don't like when my it's just right up against my eyes because then my
yeah.
eyelashes like break in the middle of the night or something and then I wake up and it looks like wonky. So there's padding around you know, the
Oh.
eye mask and then you can kind of blink and you can
Oh, that'd be good.
and then
I'll
it
have a look for that.
actually yeah. And then they're so cheap too. And it really closes everything off. I think if they're just
Mm,
flat, they're sitting on your nose and then there's this little area that's
yeah.
open. But if they contour to your face with that padding around, it's really nice. So definitely
Mm.
that's
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely give that a go because she's also made like a little spot in her cupboard, which when you said that, I'm like, it's exactly what she does. She's got a little part in her cupboard where she can close the cupboard, sit in there
yeah.
with her phone or a tablet and just decompress and listen to her
Just
music.
decompress. I think we all need that more than we think we do. I think there's just so much
Mm.
stimulation. So that's lovely that she's already doing that. How old is your daughter?
And she's 10.
She's a baby. See, she's
Yeah.
already in tune. I learned this in my 30s. Like, I'm like,
Mm.
oh, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. Like,
Yeah.
she's doing so great. Wow.
Yeah, she's doing good. She's come a long way, so it's good.
I love that.
All
I'm sure
right,
you're proud.
I am very proud. Okay, how do you make repeated takes feel fresh?
Doing the scene differently. So,
Mm,
finding an intention that's different. There's times where the scene calls for not necessarily shouting. It's like a scene where you don't want to be next to the other person. Well, what if you don't want to be next to the other person, but secretly you do? Secretly you like them, but you don't want to be near them because they're a distraction, or you don't want to be near them because they hurt your family member, or because they said this thing that they're not aware of. There's so many ways to not want something. And there's so many reasons why you wouldn't or that you would. And yeah, so it's just kind of creating those little scenarios in your head. It's like when I get an audition, like everyone's going to read it the same way, right? If it's a scene where you're screaming at your partner, you're screaming at your partner, and then, you want to leave. But what if you don't want to leave? What if you really want to be there, even though it says, like, I don't want, how many times have we, like, said something that we didn't think was what we act, like I'm trying to like explain it in the way of like whatever's read on the script, we don't necessarily have to do that. And
yeah,
it's there's different ways of emoting and saying the same line. You could say I love you, but with a lot of hate. You can say I love you with a lot of love. So just finding those different ways to bring those characters out, and then you give post production and the editor and the director different takes and different choices. And they can kind of look through and be like, oh, this take where she's actually not even yelling at him. She's supposed to, but she's very calm and she's quiet. And then you could see her rage there. She's not having to. And so, yeah, it's just different ways of like playing these scenes out. And I love, there's not always a lot of time in the verticals. You get maybe one or two takes, sometimes three.
yeah,
But when you do, I'm like, ooh, okay, let me change it. Unless the client is there. And sometimes when the client's there, they just want it done the exact same way. But for the most part, the director will tell they yell out actor's choice. We're just
yeah,
trying to do a scene. And then that's when we can do it however way that we want to do it. So,
yeah. I heard the other day, I forgot who said it because I've done so many of these interviews, but um, they said instead of just yelling at each other standing still, they yelled at each other while moving around and like dressing themselves or undressing themselves. Like they were like
ah,
doing other things at the same time to make it different.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. There's a coach that told me to read words backwards. There's a coach that told me to read them with an accent. There's
Mm,
like, say them with an accent. There, to like get out of your head because it's so easy to do the same thing over and over again. So that would be a great way to move your body to like pick up to like pick up your book and start changing or like packing your bag and having, because when you're doing things physically, the words are going to come out a little differently, like when it's very interesting how when you incorporate your body things change. So yeah, like
yeah.
sometimes in a scene we can't really move just because the cameras are there, but how we can
Yeah.
say things are different. Yeah, and that
Yeah. Like
yeah.
telling somebody or screaming that you're going to leave and then screaming that you're going to leave while packing a suitcase, it would come out completely
Yes.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it's fun. You can use it. Like if you're shoving something, you can use that anger to shove it into your
Mm,
backpack or something. And yeah, there's different ways. Yeah, I just love that. That's what I love about
yeah.
the craft. There's so many
Yeah.
ways to move
Yeah.
about.
Different interpretations for everything. So,
Exactly.
what's harder for you, subtle acting or big emotional scenes?
Uh, mm, oh, I think a lot of times when I'm doing a big emotional scene, I try to bring in the subtle. Like the audition I just did. It's a really emotional scene, but it's very just right here. And she's in so
Yeah.
much pain. That is difficult, but it's so much fun. I don't think I think that's what's difficult is like action stuff when I'm having to like like my partner gets hit by a car, that happened like one of them, and I'm like screaming. I'm like, no, like that's it sometimes feels so silly, and then they're right there and then they start to smile or something. So those are difficult. But when it's like an emotional scene, but it's subtle, that I love. Because this is so important. Like
It is.
such a
Yeah.
challenge too. I did an on-camera class and and we filmed our auditions in class and then we watched them on this massive TV. So everything was right here. And it was the best teacher to see your isms and to see how your eyebrow raises when you do this. That I love. The big screaming
Yeah.
stuff and all of that and the running. I mean, that's always so much fun, but I really do enjoy like the subtle moments a little bit more.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, right. That's where the
Yeah.
story is, the eyes, right?
Yes, that's like when we watch a show that has less dialogue, but you can tell what they're saying. They don't need to say anything because their face says everything for them.
Exactly. There's no VOs, there's just like you as the viewer can interpret what they're, doing despite this. Yeah.
Yeah. Shane in Heated Rivalry does that so well. What the more you
Yes.
watch it, the more you'll pick up his subtle emotions.
Yes. Yeah, he's really, really good at that. And he barely says anything.
Yeah.
He's not filling the space with words. Like when he uses his words, the words are here though. Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right. What's the most challenging environment you've had to work in?
Probably Vancouver. I was
Mm.
just there a month ago filming. If that's what you mean weather-wise. If not, I can think of something else, but it's more of that. Like it, it was so cold and it was rainy. We had to do a lot of exterior. And it was like as soon as they yelled cut, we had people swarming us to bring us jackets and warmth and tea and coffee and all of that. And then I think I was the only one that had to be bare shouldered because wearing like a wedding dress and like
Yeah.
viscerally, I couldn't stop shaking. It was so intense for me, like my bones. And we were staying in an Airbnb with heated floors in the
Oh.
bathroom,
Oh.
sorry, not everywhere else. So I would lay down
Mm.
in on the bathroom floor and just like
Yeah.
defrost my bones after that. That's just difficult. And it's always so cold there and so rainy. And,
Mm.
I was there in January. So you know what you're up to when you're going there in January, but it's brutal, man. It's brutal.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
in Australia, we just have the heat, like extreme heat.
Same
Yeah.
in Texas. I don't know how hot it gets there, but in Texas it's beyond. It's so hot. I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I don't know how you
No,
guys do that all year. Do you guys get snow or anything in the winter
I
or
have
any?
never seen snow in my life. So it doesn't get cold enough here in WA for that. But we've got our Christmas in summer. So we don't ever have, all these white Christmases and things like we're at the pool instead. Like we're just
Would you like to
completely
see
different.
it, or are you like, no, I'm good. This is good.
No, I'd love to see snow. I'd love to. I keep seeing all these movies, beautiful movies with like white Christmases and, the fire and things like that. And I'm like, I
Magic.
just want that once, just one
Oh my
Christmas like
God.
that.
Maybe
Um,
this year you can, I know it's expensive, but I don't know, go take a little trip and see some snow.
yeah, I mean, without going into too much, I need to wait for my kids to get their passports because they
Oh,
can't
okay.
get them at the moment, and I wanna do that with them, even if they're older, just to do that with
That's
them.
precious. No, passports are important and they would love that. I don't know
Mm,
the closest area that snows, but like maybe later in the year, for
mm,
Christmas time in 2026. You guys can go take a little, even if it's 3 days, but no, it's magical. Oh, you're gonna love it. That's my
yeah.
favorite season is winter. I love snow. I mean, I was born in Russia, right? Like I just love like I don't like summer. Like here it's so hot. I'm like,
Mm.
ugh, I don't like it.
I mean, you go by Fahrenheit, so I think like ours it goes by degrees. So over Christmas, sometimes we can get up to like 46 degrees, which I think is around 116 for you guys.
Right. I think, yes, I think it's about 110 or so, which gets
Mm,
that hot here. So,
yeah,
yes. It's,
never
I,
fun.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know how you do it for this long. I can't do it. Ugh,
You adapt, you're used to it. Like when you live in it all the time, you just get used to it.
true.
So,
And it's home. It's like, well, what are you gonna do
yeah.
besides live in it? Yeah. Like you have your whole
And I
family.
could I could want snow so much and then I'll get there and people say snow isn't exactly what you think it is. Like they're like, it's not as nice as what it's shown on movies. Like it's it's not always nice.
It is. I think it is. I think it's magical. I mean, when it starts to like get gross and icy and it's
Mm,
melting, it's disgusting, but I think it's just stunning, whether it's falling out of the sky or it's just like right there in front of you and you're walking on
yeah.
it. Yeah. Oh, you'll love it. Oh, I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you drawn to more character-driven stories or plot-driven ones?
Oh, I'm just gonna say both.
Mm,
Yeah. I think just like I said with the verticals, I think it's usually like there are different plots, but you kind of remain the same.
Yeah.
It would be incredible if there was, yeah, like arcs and there was low points and high points and things like that. But also like the plot needs to, you know, also have some color in it as well too. There was one vertical that we did that we were in like a banquet hall for like 50 pages out of like the 80. So it was just, hurling, insults at the lead, both me and him, Luke. And it was, I mean, we had so much fun, but right, there's just not a lot of story there. They're just kind of mad at her and like, oh, she can't, rule the kingdom or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it was like that story, but yeah, in again, we had so much fun, but it's just like I want story.
Yeah.
I want to go somewhere. I want to take myself as well as the viewers on a journey. So
Yeah. No, I get that. I've seen a few of them like that, and I'm like, I've seen the same room this entire movie.
right, right, right. And we use the same rooms. That's the thing. We use the same
Mm,
what is it, mansions and the same
mhm.
houses. And so I'm sure you start to notice, you're like, okay, but it's different characters. So it's fun to see like different characters in the
Yeah.
same stuff. But yeah, that's why I like Golden Pears. We were in a
Mm,
vineyard and we were in a massive, gorgeous hotel. And like, there was just so many different places. I had so much
yeah.
fun.
I mean, I know that they use the same places like all the time because I've seen, when they do backstage and stuff, it's like, or behind the scenes, I mean, they're just like, oh, we're here again. And like, but if it's shot well, you don't notice. Like, you don't
Right.
notice that you're in the same place.
Right, that's so true.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just depends on
yeah.
how wide, how close, and the angles and things like that. But yeah, I mean, they could tell a completely different story in the same room 50
Mm,
times.
yep. Yep.
It's very true.
Absolutely. Okay. If you had full creative control on a project, what kind of story do you want to tell?
Oh, I could tell so many. I don't know. That's that's such a difficult question because there's just so many stories I want to tell. I
Mm,
just want to tell people stories. Like there's so many lives that people have lived out there, and I want to portray that in my own sense. There's not a specific story I want to tell. I just want to tell stories. I mean, it
mm,
ranges from like I'm currently reading like the Fourth Wing books to
mm,
the Dragon School, right? Like that would be an incredible story to tell to someone like an adoption like there was a movie that came out a long time ago called Wild, and it was a man that was adopted, and then later on in life he went back to India to find his family. And I mean, I was just sobbing, sobbing, sobbing. So I'd love to tell stories where I can personally connect as well. um yeah, I have family things that I'd love to connect to. I think that's also a form of like therapy, if you can find things that
yeah.
you can physically connect to your life and the character, that's amazing. But no, I just want to tell good stories. It's such a vague answer, but just good stories. I don't even care. I
Yeah.
just want to do them all. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how do you make similar roles feel unique?
Just like I said earlier, I think the way that you question what's going on within the script. I didn't used to do
Mm,
that. And I would just read the lines and how they came out. And I would try to make them sound interesting. This was like early on in my career. And then I really started to ask any question that I possibly could to build a foundation and a story within the script. Yeah, and like it just takes asking good questions too, because I think it could be lazy sometimes the way that I've done it before, where I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's probably a crush. I mean, they're acting like they like each other. Like, I'm sure there's like some stuff. Oh, that was a bad ex. But now I really, really dive into like, what is it that keeps me coming back? Like, there's so many questions that you can ask, and then you kind of take yourself into, well, how would I respond? If that's not given. But it's just asking questions, so many questions. You have to be so curious about the characters that you're working with.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what's a mindset you want to carry into every future performance?
Um, just separating me from what I'm doing. I think there's a beautiful melting that you can do Like it's always going to be Alyona, but I want to honor the characters and their stories. And if it's even a villain, it's like, you know, I never judge the characters for what they do. You could play Jeffrey Dahmer and you don't judge because in his twisted mind, like he did what he thought was right, things like that. It's like you go into it, you never judge anything that your character is doing because they're justified in what they think is right. And so it's like bringing that and kind of separating who I am and what I would do to honor who I'm playing. Because like I
Yeah.
said, I used to just say the lines and they came out beautifully. I just didn't connect. And now I'm like, no, I want to live like 15 lives. I want to be these people. I want to like hop in their shoes and go. So it's how can I melt into their world, but also like pull me aside. And this is about them and how do I bring them to life and honor and respect their choices and all of that. That's kind of what I want to bring
Yeah.
to this character.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. I like that. It makes it feel more real, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all that we're here to do is to bring that to life to people and make it feel real, you know.
Yeah.
But there's that balance again of like incorporating your soul into it, but also taking a step back. And this isn't Alyona. Like, okay, well, I wouldn't do that. Well, doesn't matter what you would do. It's what would the character. Yeah. So that's kind of what I've
Mm.
been playing with lately with my roles. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important. It's really important to have to like to be able to bring yourself back out of it. That's like one of the most important things, especially with some of the
Right.
scenes, like you said. Yeah.
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 You got it. You're
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. So what is the most valuable lesson you've learned from working in the industry so far?
Just speaking up for yourself, just like I said,
Mm.
a little bit earlier, you don't have to say yes to everything. I don't want to not like what I do. I want to love what I do. And I want to get really excited about it because if I'm not, then I'm just going to stop and I'm going to find something else to do in this world. So if there's a way that, if something makes me feel comfortable, that I can bring that up to a certain someone and we can play with it and find a way for us to convey that, if it's a plot line or something I have to say, then it also make it comfortable for me,
Yeah.
then that's what I want to do. Yeah, I just enjoy it and speak up for yourself. And yeah, don't be afraid. I am always afraid of like stepping on toes. Even now, I'm not like perfect. I still, even on this last one, that there's certain things that I didn't want to do. And I was like, well, they want it. Okay, okay. Um, but yeah, I'm still working on that. But it's
Yeah.
it's really important with the subject of a lot of these verticals, you know,
Yeah.
how to how to have agency for yourself because no one's really going to like take care of you the way that you are except for maybe an
Yeah.
IC. Like they're there for your comfort. But
Yes.
yeah, I think that's probably what I've learned the most working in this industry is how to respect myself and my boundaries, but also give them what they want because this is a collaboration at the end of the day. So
Mm. Actually, just it just popped in my mind then that I think like the intimacy coordinator is probably, you wouldn't have the movie or the show or anything without every crew member like makeup or anything like that. But the intimacy coordinator is probably the most important safety device that you have on set.
they're incredible and sometimes we don't get them. I've
Mm.
always had one on my movies. I know I talked to a few girls in the industry who don't, and it's really difficult because then production will sometimes come to you asking for a lot more, and a lot of times like the male lead will like step up and they're like trying to like protect, but and I think an IC is so important because I like choreography. There's a lot of intimacy scenes that I do and I need it to be like choreographed. Like I know the
Mm.
camera's here, so we're gonna have the hand here and then it slides down and then a kiss and then a kiss here. And I know that
Yeah.
sometimes my
Yep.
dog came.
There's you.
I know. I know sometimes that it's like the you it's important to like I had one guy that was like, well, let's just do it. Let's just see what we get out of it. And I think sometimes that's okay, but it's like we're running late. The camera's here. I can't just do it because then we're gonna do it and make out for no reason and they've only got a couple things. Like, and that's
Yeah.
where the IC steps in. They're like, okay, no, so this is what we're gonna do. This is the choreography. Do you feel comfortable? Where are your red zones?
Yeah.
So that we don't have to do 50 takes. We can do a couple
Yeah.
takes. Camera's gotten what it needs to get, and then we're on to the next scene. Yeah.
I mean, I believe that every set should have the intimacy coordinator. That's like, as I said, so important. But I think if it doesn't, then both the leads need to have a conversation first to
Yes.
go, okay, this is exactly where we're at. No matter what anybody else says, this is our boundaries.
Right.
Um,
And most of the time, yeah, I've had such great leads and they're like,
yeah.
whatever you want, Allie, like you tell me. And even if like when we're in the middle of doing it, they're like, are you okay? And then when it's, paused, or sorry, when like the scene is cut, the IC
Mm,
like brings you like, your your towel or something. But like me and Richard in this one that's about to come out, he's so great. We were in a car and there's lights, it's just hard to get in. So he pulled up his jacket as soon as, it was yelled cut, and so that I can change and start the scene over again. I mean, I was in my bra, it wasn't full. You're never fully, but it's just nice to work with such great people that
yeah,
respect you. And these men do. Yeah. Most
that's
of them.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, no, that's very, very good to hear. Okay. What kind of legacy do you want your work to leave?
Hmm. I that's such a I was gonna say cute question. It's such a good question, and it's cute, and it's awesome, and
Oh,
it's
thank you.
powerful, and like all of that. I I just want to make people feel like the reason why I got into this is because I walk out of movies and I'm just chills, and I can't stop thinking about it. And the way I view cinema is then different, and the way that I talk to people is different. And like this industry really just does change who I become. I'm just so obsessed with it. And I'm just so obsessed about human connection and vulnerability. And if I can bring that to people, that would be amazing. And I also want people to feel really great on set. I think I just want people to feel like they're included, because I know certain people from first, account stories of them being like, well, this crew member doesn't usually matter. No one ever, listens to them, or like no one really ever pays attention to them because they just kind of do this thing in the corner. And so for me, I want to bring more attention to crew and what they do, and pay discrepancies as well, just because it's such a big gap. There's such a
Yeah.
big gap on set with pay, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah,
Mm,
I just want to make everyone feel just really appreciated. So I'll go up to the G and E guys who are lighting everything, and
yeah.
they're setting up the next scene, or like art department, and I really do like ask them about the things that they're doing and the questions that I have. I just want to take interest in everybody and make them feel like they're important, and then also make people feel the way I feel when I leave theaters, because it's just magical. I love storytelling. Yeah.
Mm. Do you know what gets me is a lot of people say when, like you said before, like that person's not really important or whatever like that. Do you know what? They're probably the most important because you probably wouldn't be able to get your job done or the director or anything without them. So you may
100%.
not think that they're important, but they're probably the most important on set.
100%. I love being an actor and I love what I do and what we do, but I don't think we're the most important. I 100% don't. Like, yeah, you can bring the character to life, but without lighting, you're not going to see. Without sound, you're not going to hear us. Without
Yeah.
the director, like, there's this dark room and an actor, and that's it. And
Mm.
no way to reach out to the world. Like, we are just such a small part of it. And it's nice to be treated well, but I just want that to extend to everybody, and to hear
Yeah.
like fellow crew members talk to me like, wow, we really just meant nothing to everyone. And not on like any sets that I've been on, but like on others that I've heard of. It absolutely breaks my heart. So that's something that I really want to, yeah, leave as a legacy in some sense of like bringing to light just how much everyone does to
Yeah.
make.
I mean, that breaks my heart that that happens as well because I mean, you guys, obviously you're important, but you guys get to sit down sometimes and take a break. But while you're doing that, they're still working. They're still,
1000%.
yeah,
Yeah.
setting up the next
Yeah.
scene.
They're
And
on to the next scene. while
Yeah.
I'm sitting in hair and makeup, like getting ready, I can take a breather, I can have a snack. No, it's
Mm,
absolutely insane what crew does. Like I just have so much respect for crew. And so
yeah.
that's a mission of mine to bring to light all that they
Mm,
do. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. All right. Is there anything you want anyone to know about you or your work?
No, I mean, I think you covered it all. I love
Mm,
good cinema. I just want to act. That's all I want to do in
mm,
this world. Well, no, I have a lot of other dreams. I want to open up a farm and a rescue center and
yeah.
get the homeless off the streets. I have so many dreams and I will accomplish all of them. But yeah, I just love acting and I'm just so thankful that I get to do this. I'm so thankful. And like having conversations like this with you, like it's so nice that you reached out and you're like, hey, let's have a chat. And because these are questions, like some of those questions I did not even think about. I was like, oh, ooh, okay, this is great because now I'm gonna think about these things like once we get off the call. Like it just kind of like opens my brain up in a different area. And I'm like, oh, this is so interesting. So yeah, I just appreciate talking about this too. I think as actors, like we act and then we go on to the next thing and we audition, then we go on to the next thing. But it's rare because I also don't have a lot of deep friends that I can sit down and like talk like acting with because we're always busy, but I never get to have conversations about the industry. So it's so interesting to like have the rebuttal back and forth of like, well, I think this, oh my God, that's so true. No, this happens here. You're right. It's such an awesome thing. So thank you for that. It's
That's
so
okay. I love these conversations too because everybody gives me a different perspective as to what they see. Yeah. And
that's
so
so
many
true. I
times
feel
I'm
like
like, I never would have thought about it that way, but I love that you see it that way. And it's just so many different opinions and ideas, and I love it.
yeah, what made you want to start these interviews?
So I actually started my page doing photo editing. So I just do a couple of photo edits and things like that. And then I started like watching, I ran a page before that for Heartstopper. That's another one of my favorite shows.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
and I did the photo edits for that. And then I watched my first vertical and I was like, this is great. And I want to start doing
Right.
that. And then I realized how big, like I know it's quite, it's still new and things like that. And it's a smaller community rather than other, but it's still big. There's still so many people that
Yeah.
deserve recognition. Some people aren't seen yet compared to other people. And I just want to give them a way to be. I mean, they may have more followers than me or something, but people may not know them. They may know
Yeah.
their character, but they don't know them. So,
Right.
like, I want to give them their voice rather than what people just see on screen.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's so nice. Yeah. And like obviously like you're building your followers and your
mm,
friends too. Like I mean
yes.
these interviews, you've connected to so many people on a deeper level than others have too. So
Mm,
it's such privilege on both ends to have conversations like these to open up your world and then you're opening up mine. So I
yeah.
fully understand that. And I love that. Well,
Mm.
thank you. Yeah, there's nothing else to know about me. I just love acting and animals and that's it. Yeah.
Animals are good. Yeah. My
Yeah.
most important thing is to do this, but in the most respectful way I possibly can. So that's
I
my
feel
aim.
very respected. Yes,
Yeah,
you
that's
did good.
good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you. I
Yeah.
have two more questions. What's your funniest moment on set?
Mm, the I have so many, and they're all
Mm,
bloopers, but there's not like
yeah.
specific ones. There's only one that comes to mind right now just because it's fresh, but in the golden pair, um, we were running on the green screen floor, and I just I don't know
Oh,
if it was the heels I was wearing. I don't know. Well, no, the paper kept moving, and somebody
oh,
actually had a video of it. They were videoing the monitor, and it was
mm.
very fun. And I just got like up like real quick, and I'm like, okay, back to one. And it's so embarrassing sometimes, but it's also fun because then you just hear everyone giggle, and for a second, everyone just kind of like relaxes, and we're like, oh, like
Yeah.
this is fun. So we've had moments like that before where you break or someone like there was my coworker or my co-star Lexi. She's just had a really funny line recently, and I just couldn't. And I'm supposed to look down anyways and look at her shoe, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And then like the lead guy comes in, Richard, and he's trying to be like bravado, and he's watching me absolutely lose it on the floor, and then he loses it. And yeah, it's just like whenever you just can't sometimes take the scene like seriously. I love those moments. I know that sometimes production's like, all right, guys, we have to keep going, but breaking with everyone, I just I wish they would do something with the bloopers though. Like I wish they would come
Mm,
out on like social media too, because there's so many sometimes. And we do a lot of like social media fun like scenes,
yeah.
but we don't ever see the bloopers. And like I think those are the best. And that's when we all just kind
I did see one blooper reel that somebody
of
posted the other day on Real
oh
Short, I
love.
think it was.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, for tutoring my rival boy and my rival, yeah, I think that's what it's, and they put little bloopers out of like an elevator scene, and I was like, yes, I'm so glad we got to see those
Right.
bloopers. Yeah,
To watch them giggle and to break. I love that as an actor and as a viewer. So
yeah.
I wish we could showcase more of those. But yeah, I have a lot of those little scenes and those little moments that I've had on set. Those are my favorite.
I think they're so important to be able to have those laughing moments on set. Otherwise, it's all just like go, go, go. You have to
Oh,
have
girl.
those moments. So,
Yeah, and those are the ones that everyone remembers. You know, you get together with
mhm,
actors, like, do you remember that one time that you just couldn't, and we couldn't stop laughing about it after? It's like those are the moments that
yeah.
we carry. So if we can just create more of those and just laugh together. I love a good
Hmm.
giggle. I could giggle all
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
I did that last night actually. I watched something on my phone and I just like I laughed to the point I was in tears and I haven't laughed like that in so long. It was
Oh
so
my
funny.
God. Was it like a TikTok or something?
It was like a Instagram, it was on Instagram. There was like people putting speakers in certain places and then like scaring somebody, like like the ghost ones with like the little child speaking behind.
Oh, I could
It was
never.
so funny. Like,
My heart rate, like whenever that would happen. But no, right? Like when
yeah,
when you
I
get
wouldn't
those
want to be
tears,
that person, it happening to,
no, but
but
I'll
just
watch it.
watch it.
Absolutely. I
It
will
was,
watch you.
yeah,
Fear
it
for
was
your
so
life.
funny.
I don't want to be.
I'll
Oh, I
send it
love
to
that.
you. I'll send it to you.
There you
It's
go. Yes,
so
yes, please
funny.
do. Share it.
Yes.
I love a giggle, I'm telling you. That's
Good. I will definitely send it to you. Okay. Last question. What does a good day on set look like for you?
good day on set, not too early. Sometimes these call times are insane, but yeah, it would be like LA where I get to drive myself because I really just like, being in charge of like, I don't know, just like getting there and it's a sunrise and then, you get there and there's breakfast. Although like most of the time I just like I can't eat breakfast because it's usually too early. But it's just like a day where we get to do some fun stuff. Like there was a movie where they were filming us underwater because we were swimming, and
Mm,
that was amazing. Like we had
yeah.
so much fun. So something really really cool like that, or where we're running through the forest. Like I want to do some different things. Like yeah, they're a little bit harder, but those action scenes, like I just want to have fun on set. I want to laugh all day. Good catering, the best, scenes, not necessarily any kissing, because then there's
Mm,
I see and it's like, okay, how are we gonna do this? Like, let's leave that for other days. Like my best day is not gonna have any intimacy. It's gonna be like action packed and it's gonna be funny and yeah, and everyone's in a good mood and so it's good food. And then we wrap
mhm.
early. That never happens
Yes.
either.
No.
That's
No. No. That
okay.
does sound like a good day.
All right. I think it sounds like a
Yeah.
great day.
Yes. And I heard catering's a big thing too, so it's a big thing.
Man, when you get it, it's like extra, extra special. And when you
Mm,
don't, it's okay. Like, it's sucks a little, but like good food really does go a long way. Yeah.
yes. I have heard that. Okay, well, thank you so much for having this interview with me today, and we're working out the time differences.
You did it. 16 hours. Wait, is it? It's
So it's
less.
18 now, I think you said. 18?
It adds to. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah. Oh my God,
maybe.
girl.
I don't
18 or
know.
14. I don't know, but that's still a ton of hours in between us. So I appreciate you
Yeah.
working with me in my schedule and for reaching out. And this was fun. I had a lot of fun getting to know you and seeing all the photos behind you.
Thank you. I
That's
adore
so
these photos. I need so many more. I want to like show everybody behind me if I
got
had
to
the
get all the
chance.
boys. You got to get all of them out there. Yeah.
And the girls, boys and the girls,
And the
all
girls,
of them.
well, yeah, you can like, have either one side or the other, just
Yeah.
intermix. But no, it's
Maybe
fun.
I'll
I
just
had,
get like hooks and just put frames behind me instead.
oh, cute. Yeah. And then you could just how
Yes.
fun. Like a little wall dedicated.
Yes, but I need more signed photos, and that's the part that makes it hard. I need signed photos.
You'll get them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just need to make a ton of friends and then they can go out in the world and get them for you and send them your way.
Yes, yes.
And I'm
Well,
sure one
hopefully,
day, because verticals are crazy, they're going to have a very big showcase at some point somewhere in the world, and then you could maybe somehow go and meet everyone. And
Well, they've got Verticon in LA in
yeah.
August, I think this year. They had it last year, which is where I got these, which I couldn't make it to. I've just got my passport, so I wanted to go this year, but it's not looking promising due to finances. But next year, definite. There's no excuse for
But
next year. So
there
I
you
will
go.
make
That's
sure.
gonna be like your big international trip. Yeah. Oh, how
Yep.
fun. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe we'll see each other in person. That'll be
I
fun.
hope so. That would be nice. All right, love. Will you enjoy the
And I
rest of
hope
your
you have a good
day?
rest of your day. Yeah. And I'm sure I'll chat
Thank
with you
you.
soon. Okay.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.